What's up, y'all? This DP Level Up, baby. Back at it again, full in effect. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss out on this valuable information. Okay, let's get straight into it. Again, this is DP Level Up. My name is Duran Peebles. I am a certified life coach. And what I do, I help people understand the power that God has gave us all, y'all. Man, you know what? I got a lot of stuff to go over tonight. Tonight we're gonna talk about identity, y'all. Do y'all really know who you are? Do you know who you really are? If not, I'm gonna help you understand why I say a lot of us take on false identity, and that's very, very, very draining, y'all. That's very draining, okay? But let's get straight into the video. Okay, y'all. Understanding identity. Do you truly know who you are? Okay. Do you really know who you are? Let's talk about it. Identity refers to who we believe ourselves to be, shaped by experiences, values, beliefs, and external influence. Okay. Now, that goes to say it's so many different things that can play a big old part in identity, y'all. Okay. It's a huge part. That means the experience that we done been through. How did that shape us? Did that shape us into being somebody we want to be or somebody we don't want to be? Our values. What is your core values? Do you believe in respect, honesty, and integrity? What is your beliefs? Do you believe good about yourself? Do you believe bad? What is your external influence? What influence you in this world? That all play a big part into identity, y'all. The concept of the wrong identity. Okay. A wrong identity is when we adapt a false or ill-fitting role that does not align with our true selves, values, or potential and purpose, y'all. Okay. That means we get put in situations, or we get put in places, or we get put somewhere in life that we don't want to be, y'all. We might have chose to do something because we knew it to get us some money. That's being wrong identity. That's stepping into wrong identity just all by itself right there. Playing a role in a position that we don't like and we can't stand in life, that's wrong identity. We're not following our purpose. Messing up with our potential. That means it's stunting our growth in our personal life. It's stunting our growth in our personal self. It messes with our values because people get into places and let people talk to them recklessly, and it lowers their values and their self-esteem, make them feel worthless, y'all. So let's keep on going. It gets deep, y'all. The impact on mental health. What we do every day that we hate to do, we don't like to do, is not us. We only did it because we had a family to take care of. So we chose to do something that we didn't like. We chose to take on a task that we didn't want to do at the end of the day. Every day we get up and go to places that we can't stand. It stresses us out, give us anxiety, and all that above, y'all. Over 90% of the country is on a work burnout. You know why? Because they not being their true self. They not operating in their purpose. They not following what God said. So that's a big impact on your mental health. And I'm going to tell you where that's going to hit you at. It'll stress you out. You know what stress causes? Sickness. It affects our immune system, right? Give people anxiety, right? Make them real anxious. Make them anxious to figure out what do they need to do next. Rush into something that don't work. Give them anxiety, right? So we got to be very careful on who we are. We got to be very careful on our identity, right? Okay, let's go a step further. Living a life based on identity that is not authentic leads to inner conflict and consistent pressure, which increases stress and anxiety, y'all. That means we doing something that we don't want to do every single day. That's not being true to ourselves, y'all. That's not being true to ourselves. If you know you love, let's say we know you love selling hats and clothes and accessories, right? You love selling, but you became the identity of a warehouse worker, a clerk, a store clerk, or something that's have nothing to do with you. So your everyday life is going to be a whole different identity than what God put in you to be. Okay. So what God put in you to be is something you doing totally different all day. So you being wrong to your identity. That means you taking on a whole different person that ain't even the real you. Okay. That's not even the real you. So then when you think about that, why do we do this every single day for currency? Why do we take on different identities and stress ourselves out, give ourselves anxiety, doing all this harmful stuff to our mental health over a green piece of paper, something that we can get off our purpose, right? Now think about that, y'all. How can we change it? Because it's an inner conflict with ourselves. That means you get lost in who you supposed to be. You get lost in, God, what am I supposed to be doing? I know I ain't supposed to be doing this, but what am I supposed to be doing? So you lose yourself, right? So that also leads to depression and a low self-worth. That means every time you go to somewhere that you make your money from and people talk to you sideways, or you being made do something you don't want to do, or somebody called you names, you got to talk to somebody a certain way because you in this work environment. You know what that do? That lowers your self-worth. That make you feel worthless, right? That make you feel worthless. And God don't want you feeling worthless because you precious as a brick of gold. You are the child of a king. You are the child of God, the utmost high power, right? So when we get put in these situations, it takes away from our core being, y'all. It takes away from who we really supposed to be, what God really put us on this earth to be. So what's that called? Faking an identity. And that can lead to feelings of isolation, right? Emptiness, right? And worthlessness as we distance ourselves from our true nature. Distance yourself from your true nature, y'all. Your nature is being creative. God was a creator. So what you're supposed to be doing is creating. Every single last one of us was made in the image of God, right? So that means we all are creators of something. There's something you're supposed to be creating. There's something you're supposed to be building. This is something you're supposed to be making. Why? Because you alive. So since you alive, that means you was created. So since you was created, that means you have the power and you have the want. You have the courage to want to create, but sometimes you get put in places that you can't be your true self. So since you can't be your true self, now what that mean? Now you got to become and take on a different identity than what you really are, what you really supposed to be. It get deeper, y'all. Let's go even deeper. All right, y'all. Loss of authenticity. Okay. Disconnect from true self. That means you done disconnected from who you supposed to be. When we pretend to be someone else we're not, we lose connection with our authentic thoughts, feelings, and desires, y'all. And desires. You know what that means? That means when you get put in a situation, when you got to do something that God didn't put in you to do, but you do it anyway, you taking on a false identity. You taking on a false identity, y'all. We're not supposed to get lost in the sauce in this made up world that we live in. Somebody done created, and now they done put systems in place, and these systems is making them wealthy. But these systems got us so caught up. Television, cell phones, all these programs, radio, all these programs got us so caught up that we not even focusing on who we supposed to be. And what's that? We're pretending to be someone we're not. So you practicing to be someone where you practicing to be someone you're not. You know what make the greats great? Because they spend their time practicing who they supposed to be, the player they want to be, the character they want to be. They practicing what God made them to be, right? Michelle Obama said, practice who you want to be in the future and then become that. So every day we got to practice who we want to be. And when you wake up and do something that you hate and you do it for years and years and years, you've been living in a false identity for so long, you don't even remember who you are. It takes people like me to help you remember who you are. It takes God. It takes reading the Bible. It takes understanding. It takes discipline. It takes the focus on, okay, I lost myself in this. Let me find myself. So you got to go back and reconnect with your purpose. Okay. Because when you get lost in it, the reason, let me slow down. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, and I don't want to lose you on what I'm about to say. Okay. When let's talk about Kobe Bryant. When Kobe Bryant practiced, right, and Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Vince Carter, Allen, all the greats, even football, you got Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, you got all the great players. It's a long list. We ain't gonna name them all. But listen, they spent more time practicing than they did playing the game. Why you think that is? Because when you practice, it prepares you for the game. The game don't prepare you for the game better than practice. That's why it's so important to practice, right? So since you want to be somebody that you know you are, you got to practice being that person every single day. That means while you at work, practice who you want to be. When you get off, practice who you want to become in the future. Practice. That means start taking on the characteristics of that person. Whatever you see yourself in your head, go ahead and start becoming that person today. Don't wait till you get there, because if you wait till you get there, you didn't have no practice. You can't win the game if you didn't practice before the game. Not unless you done had a ton of practice and you done made it enough. You done made enough skills to where you can go out and win the game without even practicing that week. You see what I'm saying? But that's Allen Iverson, right? Practice. Man, we talking about playoffs. Y'all want to talk about practice. Y'all remember that? But look, listen. AI still practiced. You understand? Even though he didn't want to practice that time, he still practiced. He became who he was supposed to be. So it gets deeper than that, y'all. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut that part off because it goes deep, and that can be a whole nother teaching, y'all. So let's go deeper in this, okay? This can create confusion about who we really are. Okay? That can create confusion about who we really are. And what I mean when I say that, when you take on the false identity of something you're not, somebody you're not, if you get up and go into work and that boss taught to you something so crazy, but you know you don't put up with that type of disrespect, but you do for that day, and you do for that week, you do for that month, you do for that year. Now you becoming somebody that don't even recognize yourself. You becoming a false identity because you going back on your core value. You going back on what you told yourself you would never let happen. So by doing that, you start to get confused about who you really are. And when you get confused about who you really are, it don't take you to the next step because you don't know who you really are. You don't know what to do besides doing what you've been doing, right? And that's working a 9 to 5. That's why so many people are stuck right now in the 9 to 5, and they don't know how to exit because they don't know who they really are, y'all. So let's go even deeper. Struggling with self-acceptance. Think about that. Struggling with self-acceptance. Consistently pretending to fill a mold can make it difficult to accept ourselves, as we're not truly engaged with our strength and flaws. When you're not truly engaged with your strengths and flaws, that means you haven't been self-reflecting. That means you ain't been taking the time out to connect the dots again. That means you haven't been taking the time out to understand you, because you've been so caught up in the pleasing someone else's world. You've been so caught up in the doing what somebody else want to do. The Holy Spirit talking to me. You've been so caught up into following somebody else's dreams, right? You haven't been following yours. And God said, follow your dreams and accomplish your goals and make sure your purpose is you serving others, right? So how can we do that if we constantly pretending to fill a mold, right? So if a job hire you to be a forklift operator, but you know you're a dancer, you're filling the mold, okay? You do that for 10, 11, 12 years. You're filling the mold of a forklift operator. You're filling the mold of a gas station clerk. You're filling the mold of a supervisor when you could be something totally different. But you taking on that identity of something you're not, right? Let's go even deeper. Toxic relationships, attracting the wrong people, adopting a false identity can attract people who are interested in the persona we're created rather than the real person we are. Think about that for a second. When you at work conversating with people, or when you at a restaurant, right? Or let's stick to the work field, right? Because I know it's a lot of people working right now in the United States. If you're at work and these workers keep on coming up to you talking, you got people wanting to go out and hang out with you because they see the person that you are now. They see your identity of a workman, right? Or a work woman or a career woman. They see that identity. They don't see the real you, right? So they see the false identity. So they attracted to that persona. They attracted to the one that is the best worker. They attracted to the one that is knowing how to be consistent and coming to work. They attracted to the one that know how to hold the job. They not attracted to the business owner you are. If you are a business owner or if you are an entrepreneur, that side of you, they don't even know, right? They don't even know. They have no idea. So when you show them that person, they can't relate to that person because they don't know that identity. They know you as the man or the woman that's there, work every day, that take on the task, that complain about the situation around them at the job. They know that identity. They don't know the other identity. They don't know the true you. So when you get so bottled up and caught up in that mess that they got going on, it lowers your frequency. So that's why when you at work and you got bigger dreams, you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to do different things, you got to take your mind and get it away from people like that, because you got to develop. So even though you at work or your career, but if you don't want to do this, this is the part where we got to start developing. This is the part where we can't sit there and be yappity and talking to Angel and Joe and Mr. Lewis, right? We can't talk to them because what they stuck. They stuck in their false identity while we trying to come out of ours and get into our true identity, right? So we can't have the same conversations they have because their conversations can't go as deep as ours, right? So let's go even further. Shallow connections. Relationship built on false identity, lack depth and authenticity, lead into loneliness and emotional disconnect. Think about that. Relationships built on false identity, lack depth and authenticity, leading to loneliness and emotional disconnect. Why you think that is? That's because they can't go to that deep core level of where you can go. The relationship is built on a false identity. It's lacking depth. That means when you start talking and telling people about your dreams, what they do, their eyes start wandering around. Oh man, that sounds good, man. Yeah, that sounds like something, man, you should do. But you know what? You know, Rob came up in here and was acting a fool. See, when you start talking about what you really want to do with yourself, they can't go that deep. So the relationship is built on a false identity because they really don't connect with the true you. Stunt personal growth, right? That means your personal growth has been halted. Lack of self-discovery. That means you ain't even found yourself yet, right? Focusing on a false identity prevents self-exploitation and personal development, making it harder to recognize and embrace our true talents and potential. Why is it? Why is it when we being somebody else that we don't want to be, we can't find ourselves? You ain't developing, making it hard to recognize and embrace the true talents and potential. That means when you don't believe in yourself, it's you done made it so hard to even notice your true potential and your true talents. It's so hard to find yourself. It's so hard to develop because you so caught up on that hamster wheel that you done got stuck on it. You don't even realize how great you are. You don't even realize how great you're gonna be in the future. You have no recognition of that, right? So you got true talents that's out of this world. You just gotta lock in and open them up, cause God put them in you. Okay, God put that in you. Let's go any further. Missed opportunities for fulfillment. Missed opportunities now. Them opportunities that you had for fulfillment has been, not saying you ain't gonna get no more of them, but the opportunity that you had when you was operating in your purpose, but when you got knocked out of it, if you was ever in it, you missed some opportunities that could have came with operating, and you missed some fulfillment that could have came when you stayed operating within what you love to do. Yeah. So not saying you won't get any more, but them opportunities was missed. Okay. By not being true to ourselves, we may miss opportunities that would allow us to experience genuine happiness, success, and fulfillment, y'all. That means if you was, I would like to talk about basketball because this refers back to me. I miss my success of playing basketball. I used to love basketball, y'all. I used to love football. So them was opportunities that I missed. That was happiness, successful, and fulfillment that I missed because I didn't keep down that path that I love to do. You see what I'm saying? So I said, you know what? Let me resort back to what I was doing when I was a child. What did I love to do? But you know what? I missed some opportunities with my life coaching because I could have started this when I was younger. I could have been a motivational speaker when I was younger. I could have been a certified life coach when I was younger. So them opportunities got missed. But now I'm leaning into it and being obedient to what God said do. So now I can get opportunities now, and I can get happiness and success and fulfillment now. But that still don't exclude the fact that I missed some of those opportunities. Okay. And genuine happiness and success and fulfillment, y'all. Let's go deeper. Consequences in career and life choices. Inauthentic career choices, right? That means it's not you. A false identity may lead to career decisions based on what we think. And what that means, you might want to become something that you think is good money, but it's not really what you're supposed to be doing. You might think you want to be a police, but you really might want to be in a hairstylist or a barber or a lawn care service owner, right? But you take on these career and life choices, and there's consequences to that. Even though if we don't even realize it, stuff happen in the spiritual realm that we don't even see, y'all. So making those decisions so early in life can derail us from what we really supposed to be doing, right? So let's go deeper. A false identity may lead to career decisions based on what we think others expect or what seems desirable rather than pursuing a path aligned with our passion and abilities. So when you get, let's say if a parent wanted a kid to be a doctor, like you gonna be a doctor no matter what, but you know what? That kid might want to be a singer. The purpose of that child might have been to sing to the world to make the world happy. But the father and the mother saying, no, you're going to be a doctor because we got doctors all through our family. So that's what we want you to be. Right. So now you're pursuing a whole nother path that's not even aligned with your passion and your abilities, y'all. So what does that bring? You get there. You have fear of failure. Right. You don't want to fail. The pressure to maintain a false identity can make us fear failure, right? As it risks exposure. It risks exposing our true self. right? Leading to procrastination and lack of progress. Now, leading to procrastination and lack of progress. That means when you start lining up what you want to be and what you want to do, when you start seeing your true self for who you really are, you don't believe in yourself. So you don't progress in it. You procrastinate. That means you don't want to really go through with it because you fear a failure. That's because you scared to fail, right? It's deep, y'all. Let's go even deeper. The negative cycle of pretending, y'all. Not saying you just walking around and you pretending to be Jim Carrey or Denzel Washington. No. That means what you doing right now, if you're not absolutely aligning with your purpose, with what you love to do, you're happy, you're fulfilled. If you walking around right now, you hating what you do, you can't stand it, you want to do something different, you want to be somebody else, you can't stand who you are, you maybe hate your life, you're depressed, you got anxiety, you got stress, all that, you pretending to be something you're not. That's why you going through these motions. That's why you going through these cycles, y'all. Right? That's why you're going through these cycles. That's why you're going through these cycles. Perpetual exhaustion. Perpetual exhaustion, y'all. Constantly maintaining a false identity is draining, y'all. It's so draining, y'all. You draining yourself. It's been times where I was in places, man, I was so physically and mentally exhausted because I was doing something. I was being somebody I did not want to be there. I did not want to do it. So I said, you know what? It's so draining. So if it's draining my soul like that, why do I continue to do the same thing that's draining my soul over and over and over again? You really got to ask yourself that question. Okay, it's draining. Over time, the energy needed to uphold this mass leads to a burnout and physical exhaustion. United States right now is going through a burnout, y'all. It's going through a burnout because they so tired of being worked to the bone. Let me tell you something. When you in your purpose, when you in what you love to do, what God put you on to do, ain't no such thing as burnout because you got too much fire to keep going, y'all. When you so tired, you tired of doing something, that means that's not what you supposed to be doing, y'all. You supposed to be doing something totally different. So you physically exhausting yourself, physically and mentally exhausting for pretending to be somebody you're not even supposed to be, y'all. That's deep. Okay, let's go even further. Increased self-doubt. The more you do something you can't stand, the more you start doubting yourself on trying to get something else going. I done heard a lot of people say, man, I've been busting my butt trying to get my business going. But, you know, after a while, when it don't look like it's going to work, man, just make you want to quit. That's self-doubt. That's a limited belief system. No matter how long it takes, you got to keep going there because when you do, you believe in yourself and you have faith. You believe in yourself and you believe in God because his word is law. It's written. It's already set in stone. All we got to do is keep going. Right? Confidence in ourselves makes. Let me start over. The more we lose confidence in ourselves. See, I about got ahead of myself on that one. I about jumped the gun on you, false start. You know what I'm saying? The longer we maintain, let's start over. The longer we maintain a false identity, the more we lose confidence in ourselves, y'all. The more we lose confidence in ourselves, that means you not focusing, you not wanting to make the move to do what you're supposed to do because you're so used to doing what you're doing. You don't want to make the move yet, so you find excuses after excuses. You got big butts in your head. Oh, yeah, I was going to start yesterday, but I ain't get to it. Yeah, I was supposed to go ahead and go up there to the tax office and open up my sole proprietor, get my EIN number. But you know what? You got big butts just running through your head. You got a big butt mind. So the way to get over that big butt mind, man, you know what? I was gonna start that business, but I got a raise. I got a dollar raise. And I ain't had no raise in about 3 years, but I got that dollar, man. I said, you know what? It might be all right here. Come on now, y'all. Come on, man. People right now making 300,000-400,000 a month. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So let's keep going. Making it difficult to break the cycle and reclaim our true identity. That's what it's doing. The more we break ourselves down and pretend to be somebody we're not, the more it's going to make it difficult to break the cycle and reclaim our true identity. That's why so many people work for 30 and 40 years, because they done got caught up. They don't even know who they are no more. They lost in the sauce. Ain't that what they lost in the sauce? Ain't what they say? Let's go further. How to avoid taking on the wrong identity. This is how to avoid it, y'all. Self-awareness and reflection. That means you gotta always know who you are. You gotta know what you want and what you want out of life, and what you don't want and what you don't want out of life. You gotta reflect. You gotta know how you got there. What did you do to get there? Where you want to be, and what's the plan to get there? You always gotta reflect. Reflect on what you got going in your life, right? You gotta understand that. So take the time for self-reflection to understand your true desires, values, and strengths. Avoid conforming to societal pressures or expectations, y'all. We gotta avoid that. Okay. We can't be out here doing what people want us to do and trying to live up to their expectations. Right. That's a no. But so many people, we've been doing it for so long, it's a habit now. It's a habit. It's a habit. Embracing imperfections, accept that we are all a work in progress, y'all. We all a work in progress. Nobody perfect. We all still got work to do. Long as we got air in our lungs, it's work to do. Okay, it's work to do. Embrace your flaws, mistakes, and uniqueness as a part of your authentic self. Okay, surround yourself with supportive people. Build relationships with people who appreciate you for who you truly are, not for the identity you present. When you talk and tell people your true goals, if they genuinely excited and happy and they not envy and looking at you sideways, that's who you want to be around. For the people that's envy and you can see they don't want you to win, you can hear in their voice when you start talking about something you want to do, they got to come back right with something. Oh, you know what, man, I could have been did that. That ain't that big a deal. You should have been did that. When they come back with them negative response, get away from them. You want people that's cheering you on the whole way. You want people that's helping you every step. You want people that believe in you, invest in you, take time in you. Investments in you ain't always got to be capital, y'all. It can also be time, right? What do you pay when you watch a free video? So if it's free, you're not paying time. So you paying attention. Okay. So understand that, y'all. It's deep, y'all. So let's go a little further, y'all. Believe in the real you. Living as your true self is liberating and empowering. Embrace your individuality, acknowledge your worth, and pursue life with honesty. Right? The wrong time that you can ever do something is right now, y'all. Year 2024 is the wrong time that you can ever do what other people is doing. And when I say that, if you see somebody doing it and you just want to do it because you see somebody else doing it, you think it's going to make you money. You see somebody living their purpose. You think you're going to be able to make money the same way they doing. Let's not do that, y'all. Let's not focus on other people. Let's focus on you. This is the wrong time right now in 2024, about to be 25, to do something that you see somebody else doing just because they say, oh yeah, this is going to make you millions. But if that's not my purpose and my mate don't like it when I get started, how's it going to make me millions, right? But so many people will go ahead and take on that identity and be that person just because somebody on the internet that's selling courses that's hyping it up. Man, you're going to make $1 million in 1 month. Just hyping it up, right? Man, you're going to make so much money, dog. It's going to spin your head around. All you got to do is press this button and buy my course. Man, you know what he just said? He just said, I'll make $1 million in a month. I'm about to do this. Next thing you know, it's all type of mess you got to do. But you know what's gonna make it real easy for him? As soon as you press that button, he gonna get that $100 up out you. Off a dream that he don't even believe in. Right? But he wants you to believe in it. Let's change up the way we think, y'all. So the only way to find your true happiness and fulfillment is to be your authentic and true to who you are. DP level up, y'all. I'm hitting the mic. I'm sorry, but DP level up, y'all. Hey, I'm true to what I do. I love myself and I love God. I love y'all. I want to see y'all do so great in life, y'all. I want to see y'all blow this family curse through the wall with a shotgun, okay? Blow it through the wall, because it's in hell so many of our generations back, time after time again. I want you to take your spiritual sledgehammer, your spiritual shotgun, your spiritual nunchucks, and I want you to get to work. Okay? I want you to do some damage, because I believe in you. You got to believe in yourself. Believe in the real you, because the real you is what you really supposed to do. It's DP level up, y'all. Love y'all, man. Y'all take it easy. I'll see y'all in the next one, okay? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. That way you don't never miss out on my valuable content. All right, y'all. Later. Yeah.